The third car is the shooter.
I want to direct your attention to March 14th, 2022. Did you have the occasion to respond to the 400 block of Windsor Street Southwest, the intersection of Windsor Street and Interstate 20, Atlanta, Georgia?
I did, yes, ma'am.
And is that location in Fulton County?
It is.
Why did you respond to that location?
I'm a homicide investigator. There was a homicide that occurred in that intersection, and I was assigned to be the lead investigator for that.
What time did you respond to that location?
I think I got the call around 10:30 at night. And then I arrived sometime after that.
Once you responded to the location, what, if anything, did you find?
Oh, well, I was told that the incident occurred at the intersection of I-20 or underneath the bridge or close to the bridge, I-20 on Windsor Street. I came in off of Fulton Street, I believe, and came in and saw there was a large area surrounding the intersection that was surrounded by a crime scene tape. I pulled up. I was informed by one of my coworkers who was already on scene that the person that had discovered the car and the body was still on scene, and also I checked in with the person that was keeping track of the crime scene log, and I chose to talk with the person that discovered the body first. So I approached him first.
Shout out to Detective Hogan.
And interviewed him.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's already been admitted as 65 VV.
Okay.
I'm going to also show you 67 VV. Is that the area in which you responded?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Now, you said you spoke with a witness on the scene. Do you remember that witness's name?
It's Mr. Cheeseborough, I believe his name.
Shout out to Mr. Cheeseburger.
And was he able to provide you information? Without telling me what he said, was he able to provide you information?
Yes, he told me what his experience was there, yes.
Okay. Were there any other officers or investigators assisting you when you arrived on scene?
There were, I think Sergeant Butler was there from homicide, as well as a Detective Churchill was already on scene. Those are the two I remember offhand that were there. I know Sergeant Butler, I was at home when we received the call, so I had to come from home. They were in the office. Sergeant Butler had checked the camera and knew that there was a camera at that intersection. He happened to save the photo. The camera at the DOT there does not record, but it does show live images, but that camera just so happened to have frozen at the point where Mr. Cheeseborough was getting out of his car to go check on the person in the red car.
When you got there and after you spoke with Mr. Cheeseborough, spoke with Sergeant Butler, spoke with Detective Churchill, did you make any observation about the vehicle?
I did.
What did you observe?
Well, the car was in the intersection in the far left lane at the red light, stopped.
It's at the red light.
The driver's side door was open. There were bullet holes in the passenger side of the car, and some of the glass is broken out. And the driver of the vehicle was sitting in the driver's seat, deceased. And there was a pistol in the front seat, laying in the passenger seat. It had the passenger side glass is broken out, and there was glass fragments on top of the pistol.
And I'm going to show you what's been admitted as 77 VV.
There you go.
Now, looking at 77 VV, was there any significance to you about how the glass was sitting on top of the gun?
Yes, from my experience, I believe the gun was sitting on the seat when the shooting happened, and the glass was broken and exploded inward and landed on top of the gun, which indicates to me that it was not used in the interaction. It was just laying in the seat.
Looks like it.
And did you ever have the occasion to view more in depthly the victim who was in the driver's seat?
I did, yes.
Did you notice anything with the victim when he was in the driver's seat?
Most notably, his right hand was inside his pants.
Commissioner?
Go ahead.
Commissioner?
You may.
He said what? His right hand was in his pants. Do you have another gun in there or something else going on?
Hey, yo.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as 202 VV and 203 VV.
Victor,
Yes.
Victor.
Do you recognize 202 VV and 203 VV?
I do.
And how do you recognize it?
Those were, when the crime scene's there and the medical examiner's there, they examine the body. The medical examiner does his examination, and our ID unit follows behind and also takes pictures. These photographs are of when the medical examiner was examining the body, and he was pulling back the pants to see what he was holding on to.
Okay. And I'm going to, it's a very accurate depiction of what the medical examiner saw.
It's one way to put it.
14, 2022.
Yes.
Your Honor, this on the state would like to admit 202 VV and 203 VV as evidence.
They're admitted.
I'm going to publish 202 VV on the screen, and I'm going to hand publish 203 VV. Looking at 202 VV, is that how you found the victim's hand when you walked around and saw the body?
Yeah, the medical examiner's pulling his pants back, but it's very similar, yes.
Okay. And then looking at 203 VV, is that where his hands were?
Yes.
Now, once you made some observations of the body, what, if anything, did you do next?
Well, part of my initial visit to the crime scene is I try to gather any physical evidence or determine if there's any kind of evidence on the scene that's going to be interest to me or might further investigation. In this particular instance, we did a very thorough search for any shell casings. So obviously, we assumed there should be some shell casings in the intersection or at least near the car because of the amount of the shots that went into the car. We didn't find any. We did a very thorough investigation, and we didn't find any shell casings. No physical evidence outside the car was discovered.
And as an
Interesting.
investigator, was that a note to you that you did not find any shell casings?
Yes, I mean, at that particular time, I had a couple theories. Was, well, either he was shot, the shell casings landed in the intersection, and during the period of time before the shooting happened and he was discovered, with the cars driving through the intersection, it might have kicked up some shells and moved him out of the way, and they got gone. Or he was shot from inside a car, and the shell casings were inside the vehicle he was shot from. And those were just my assumptions on the scene at that time.
And while on scene, did you have crime scene come and process the scene?
Yes, ma'am.
And as you already discussed, did the medical examiner's office come out and also examine the body and also remove the body from the scene?
They did, yes.
When you first arrived on scene, did you have knowledge of the identity of the victim?
Not immediately, no, but there was a fingerprint scanner that was brought to the scene. That's a device that we use when we're trying to identify anybody, really. But it's a pretty slick machine where you can take a fingerprint, place it on. It's a mobile device, like it's pretty large cell phone shaping.
And were you able to determine the victim's
I
identity?
wanted to hear how it
Yes.
works.
And what was his name?
Shamal Drinks.
And you have a age and the date of birth.
Yes, ma'am.
That's
His date of
SHYMEL
birth was
drinks.
11/8 of 98.
Oh, he was young.
And how old was he?
26.
I don't know, do some math. 98. I can do it. Hold on a second.
26. He's pulling out his phone to see how old he was. Lord have mercy. We're doomed. Jesus. I can do the quick math because I was born in 90. So I know he's
Was he
8 years.
23?
Yeah.
24, well, it depends on his birthday. 23, 24, yeah.
26. All right, whatever.
Now, after Mr. Drinks was taken from the scene, did your investigation continue?
Yes.
How?
Well,
He said 23.
didn't really have a whole lot to go on at that time on the
Jeez.
scene. We had identified the victim, but other than that, physical evidence was really non-existent. I received a phone call from a Detective Grimsley. It's a friend of mine who works in auto crimes enforcement in the city. He was working that night, and he had taken upon himself to look at some of the city cameras to see if he saw anything, and he called me and said that he saw two cars following out the victim out of the BP station. You can see on the camera the red car and the two white cars going down to that intersection, the two white cars pulling up beside, and then they take off to the intersection and the red car stays there. So that was a...
So wait. Let's make sure, because this story is going to be very important. He said there were two cars there and then two cars pulled up.
Cameras to see if he saw anything, and he called me and said that he saw two cars following out the victim out of the BP station.
Okay, they're
You
following
can see
the-
on the camera the red car and the two white cars going down to that intersection, the two white cars pulling up beside, and then they take off to the intersection and the red car stays there.
Okay, so it's three
So
cars
that
total.
Was a
The victim
a clue
and two
for me
other cars.
to go back to at least investigate and gather the video from the BP station at the corner of Windsor and Fulton Street to see if there was anything on that video that might help with the investigation.
Did you initially try to look at the city cameras that Grimsley first observed what he told you?
I did. I looked at them.
And were,
That particular camera is a long ways from the intersection. You can see, but it's grainy. It's not very clear. It just gave me really just a clue or an initiative or a idea that, yeah, there may be something there, but there's nothing definitive could be determined from the city video.
and the cameras that he was looking at, did you know where those cameras were located?
I'm near Richardson, I think. Richardson and Fulton Street.
Richardson and Fulton or Richardson and
Or
Windsor?
Windsor, I'm sorry, yes.
Permission to approach, Your Honor?
You may.
I'm going to show you what's been marked as
Yeah, I don't know.
217 Victor Victor and 218 Victor Victor.
Yep,
Tell me if you recognize 217 and 218 Victor.
I do.
How do you recognize 217 and 218 Victor Victor?
Both of those pictures are taken from Windsor Street at Richardson, where the camera's located.
And do those appear to be fair and accurate depictions of the area of Windsor and Richardson Street? Fair and accurate depiction, Fulton and Windsor Street. Windsor and Richardson Street.
Yes.
Right, Your Honor, this time the state would like to admit 215,
213 VV 218, or 217 218.
217 and 218 VV into evidence.
You're admitted.
Permission to publish.
You may.
And I want to look at 218 VV. And your permission for Secretary Hogan to step down briefly? Permission for him to step down briefly?
Sure.
Looking at 218 VV, where would the BP gas station be as relates to this intersection of Windsor and Richardson?
Sure. Go down to the next intersection. On the other side of Fulton Street, on the right-hand corner, is that BP station.
And from this picture, are you able to see where I-20 is?
Yes, but it's in the distance.
Where in this
You see
is?
the bridge, really.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, he loves his good old hat.
Now, did you ever go and obtain the surveillance video from the BP gas station?
I did.
Did you obtain any other surveillance video?
I did.
Okay, where else did you obtain surveillance video from?
From the BP station, King's Liquor Store, which is in the same building behind the BP station downstairs. And then there's a FedEx building on the west side of Windsor, closer to the intersection of Windsor and I-20.
And did you view the surveillance video that you obtained?
I did.
And did you find anything of note on those surveillance videos?
I did.
All right. And have you had opportunity to look at those surveillance videos as well as a compilation video in preparation for your testimony today?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, permission for me to sit while I publish some videos? Thank you.
You may.
You said I need to sit down for a second. Thank y'all for the super chats.
I'm going to publish State's Exhibit 116 BB. Can you orient the jurors as to what they're looking at in 116 BB in this particular surveillance video?
These images are from an elevated position in the front of the BP store. At the top of the screen is Fulton Street. It runs east and west. Off the screen, but to the right side of the picture is Windsor Street that runs north and south.
And I'm going to begin publishing at 39 seconds.
Oh, here we go. Here's the surveillance video. So the red car is the one that got shot.
And do you know this is camera 19 of the surveillance video?
Yes.
Was there anything of note looking so far?
Is that the
on camera
Infinity?
19?
Well, the white Audi that just pulled in and backed into the parking space off camera, that turned out to be important.
I'm going to pause at 1:08:09.
Oh yeah, the Audi. Excuse me, not the Infinity.
Next, we're going to go to camera 3.
That was the one that he rented from Enterprise, allegedly.
Beginning at 00.
Now, why does the cashier look like they trying to rob the place? They got a hoodie and gloves on.
At 17 seconds.
That's
Do you
wild.
see anything that occurs in the top left corner of the video?
Yes, ma'am. That's the Audi that backed into the parking space when it went off camera on camera 19 and backed into the front, from near the front doors of the store. And you just, this camera angle just barely caught the right rear of the car back into space.
And I'm going to continue playing at 18 seconds. And is this the inside of the BP gas station?
It is, yes.
Back during the height of COVID, so everybody's got a mask on. Look at this cashier. He got a hoodie on, gloves, and a mask. Does he work there? Or is he robbing the place? What is going on?
Pausing at 1 minute and 2 seconds. Was there anything of note for you in that frame?
Yes, ma'am. I determined that the person who just walked in with a pink hat on was involved.
Your Honor,
Yes.
just moving forward, I'm just going to object to conclusory statements.
Sustained.
Yeah, keep your mouth shut, Senator. All right.
Disregard that last answer.
Disregard, guys.
Was there any person of interest to you? In that photo?
What was his name?
In that
Logan?
portion of the video.
Detective Logan?
Without
There-
saying why, was there a person of interest?
Yes,
And who was the person of interest?
the person in the pink hat.
We're back to camera 19.
Hogan, not Logan. Thank you, Mark.
Your Honor, can we vote for a second?
Yes.
We're going to fast forward to 1 minute and 59 seconds.
Where's the red car? Shout out to John Elliott. There it is.
A note to you in this particular frame.
There's the red car.
Yes, I was interested in the white car that just pulled into the gas pumps and the occupants of that car.
And there's
Yes,
two white cars, one that's kind of backing up, and then one at the pump. You say,
that's correct. Yes, at the gas pump.
thank you.
This one here.
Except Miss Hilton, are you the one operating the
Yes.
screen right now? Okay, if you recall what we discussed at the bench,
I'm just trying to get some stuff.
maybe y'all need to leave that with Miss Knight.
What did they discuss at the bench? Oh, so that's not the car yet? Okay. So now the media team got in trouble for showing the screen because I guess what did they say? What did this say on here? The victim leaves, followed by two white cars. White car enters BP parking. Victim car enters parking. I mean, I don't know what the issue would be. What do they have here? Remaining witnesses. 2103. I wonder what they talked about.
Maybe y'all need to leave that with Miss Knight.
Lauren said Timu Court. Oh my God.
Did you see the individual that got out of the white vehicle and turned to the store in this frame?
Yes.
That looks like Shannon Jackson Stillwell right there.
For the record, which individual walked out of the white vehicle? Was the individual in the beige outfit?
Person that we have with a beige jacket and the green hoodie underneath.
Get it together, people.
And looking at the video, do you see in this upper corner outside of the store that same white Audi? Are you able to see it?
Yeah, you can see the tail light shining through the window.
And is that here where the arrow is pointing?
Yes. You can see the door just opened and somebody exited the driver's side and is walking in.
Where? Right here? I can't see all that.
And did you see the same individual in the pink as we saw in the earlier camera footage walking as well?
Yes, yes.
What's up, Wave Lori?
And then you see the same individual in beige and a green hoodie walk in as well.
Yes. And then the person with the pink hat puts an item on the counter, and the person with the green hoodie pays for it for him.
And the third individual that just walked in, was there anything of note for that individual for you?
It's a busy
Yes,
gas
the young man
station.
that had the shower cap on and the white shirt that said Slimer down on the back, he was a passenger in the white car at the gas pumps, the Ford Fusion. He got out of the car and came in the store after the driver had come in.
And this time can't be right because
it
looks dark.
At 4 minutes and 14 seconds in the video, come back into the store.
Yes, he had walked back to the car and then walked back inside the store and made another purchase.
Now, does this camera or video image pick up where that last one ended?
Yes.
And we'll start at 0.3 seconds within the video?
Yeah, why is this time off? Can y'all see the time on your side? Yeah, you can see it. It's weird.
And we're going to pause at 48 seconds within this frame.
You can see the time right at the top.
Starting back at camera 19 at 00, we're going to fast forward to 1 minute and 13 seconds.
So is this the red car or there's another red car? So there's a red car there. Maybe it's this one.
The red car pulling into the gas pumps there now is the victim, Jamal
Oh,
Banks.
okay. There we
He's
go.
alone in the car.
Is that the same red vehicle that you see at the light?
That is, yes. Yes. And you see the driver of the Ford Fusion walks up and gets in his car.
We're about to find out. There he is right there.
Mr. Drinks exits the vehicle and walks into the store.
Fast forward to 3:47, 59, 3:47.
There he goes back to the car.
And then Mr. Drinks returns from the store into his car.
Going to publish camera 14. Beginning at 2:04.
That's Mr. Drinks
Shamel.
walking
Rest in
with
peace.
the gray sweatpants and a black hoodie. He exits the store.
That's what I'm talking about, Elizabeth.
Camera, and we can just see when he walks
When he
back.
returns to his car, I guess.
Yeah, we're gonna get there, y'all.
Showing back camera 3 at 14 seconds. Is this just a close-up view from behind the register of what we just saw in those last two clips.
Yes, that wasn't the victim, but yes, it is.
Was that the other individual that we've been talking about?
It's the driver of the white Fusion, yes.
So we've got a white Ford Fusion and a white Audi.
Starting at 143. And is this still the Audi that we saw earlier?
Yes, it's still sitting there with the tail light. You can see the tail light in the left-hand top corner of the frame.
Right here. These two guys look like they knew each other. Shamel. They were together.
And again, that's just a close-up angle of what we saw earlier.
That's correct.
And going back to camera 19. Starting at 11 seconds. Do you still see the red vehicle and the white vehicle both at the pumps?
Yes.
So
And based on your observation, had this white car been sitting for a few minutes at this point?
Yes.
And is the Audi still over here,
Yes, ma'am.
off camera?
That's correct.
this car in the Audi is somewhere over here. So did they just get lucky or were they following him before?
And is the red car pulling on?
Yes.
And are we at?
So there goes the Audi.
You see the red car pulls out on Windsor Street, exit, the Audi follows directly behind, and then the white Ford Fusion falls in behind the Audi.
And was that everything of note to you on the BP gas station video?
Yes.
Interesting. That's crazy. All of them just happened to be at the gas station at the same time.
And did you also then review images from the King's liquor store?
I did.
That's a crazy coincidence. Yeah, Susan, that's what I'm saying. Like, they just all happen to be at the gas station at the same time. It's kind of crazy.
And we're going to begin 36 minutes into the video.
So this camera is posted on the outside of the King's liquor store there, pointing out toward Windsor. It's not as detailed, it's a little further away. It's not as high quality of an image as I was getting from the BP, but I was able to see from that vantage point.
And is this Windsor Street right here?
That's correct, yes.
And on the bottom of here, while there's a toolbar cover, is there a timestamp at the bottom of the screen?
Yes, ma'am, I believe so, yes.
Starting at 36. Okay, do you see the timestamp down at the bottom?
I can't see it now.
You can or cannot?
I cannot. But
Do you see the timestamp in the far right corner?
no, ma'am.
Look behind you.
Oh, yes.
And what was the,
It's not on this one.
not this. What is the time on the bottom right hand corner?
It's just 10:01 p.m. on the 14th of March.
Okay, so I don't know. This was the time yesterday.
You see that
That's the
red car?
red
go by?
car. Yep.
Was that approximately 10:01:08?
Yes, then there's a white car closely followed behind it.
Another white car.
And there was another white car as well falls in.
Okay.
It's a red car.
Is this the red car?
There you go.
And is this the first white car you
That's
saw?
the first white car, yes.
Is this the second one?
There's the second, yes. It's difficult to determine make and model from that vantage point, but the colors were the same.
Well, then it had to be the same car, right?
Now show me what's been admitted as 117 BV, publishing. Looking at what's been admitted as 117 BV. Where's this surveillance video from?
This is from the FedEx building. It's on the west side of Windsor. The top left-hand corner is where you see the light shining. That's the intersection, the red light intersection just before you go under I-20 at Windsor Street.
And is this the light right here where the hand is circling?
Yes.
I'm going to fast forward to 1 hour and 1 minute into the video.
Yes, Chris, I'm live. This is from yesterday. Sorry.
Sorry, approximately 1 hour and 44 seconds.
Ah, why is it in black and white? That's annoying. So that was the first red car that drove by that we saw in the other video. And then the second red car. No, that's not it. Maybe it was. I'm gonna just let it play out. They got the night vision.
The car that just pulled up to the light now is stopped. That's the red vehicle.
This car right here?
Yes. The Audi, the first car to follow the red car out is the Audi, the white Audi. It's right next to it.
That right here?
Yes. And then the Ford Fusion is right to the right of that.
That right here.
That's correct.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped right now?
Yes, there's traffic now trying to go onto I-20 eastbound.
And so the car where Mr. Drinks and the two white cars are a red light.
That's correct. It's red light now. And the Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi and Fusion go through the red light.
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming as they were going through that?
Wait a second. What the heck? So the traffic light this light was red and these two cars took off, and then this other white car pulls up, it would have made sense that he was sitting there if they took off through traffic like he said,
The
though,
car
right?
that just pulled up to the light now is stopped. That's the red vehicle.
This car right here?
Yes. The Audi, the first car to follow the red car out is the Audi, the white Audi. It's right next to it.
That right here?
Yes. And then the Ford Fusion is right to the right of that.
That right here.
That's correct.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped right now?
Yes. There's traffic now trying to go onto I-20 eastbound.
And so the car where Mr. Drinks and the two white cars are a red light.
That's correct. It's red light now. And the Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi and Fusion go through the red light.
What is this car doing?
Well, the Audi did. Yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming as they were going through that light?
Yes, there was. And then that car did a U-turn, which is a little odd.
Isn't it though? It's not, this is not odd at all. And again, y'all, I haven't seen this, so I'm just looking at it as it goes. This car pulls up, this third car pulls up and stops for a long time. Now you do see the red car move forward a little bit.
A red light.
That's correct. It's red light now. And the Audi takes off
See that car, the red car looks like it's
through
rolling.
traffic, through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the
This
Audi
makes no sense, but why does this car stop? Unless that's,
go through the red light.
Well, the Audi did. Yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic?
and what would make sense to me is if this car is making a U-turn, they must have seen something here between the third car and this car that made them want to make a U-turn, unless they're just randomly like, oh, I'm going the wrong way.
Traffic coming as they were going through that
I mean, that's
Yes, there was.
speculation, but why would they
And then
make a
That
U-turn?
car did a U-turn, which is a little odd.
They might have been going the wrong.
Why do you say it was odd?
I don't know if that what they witnessed or if they heard anything, but it's suspicious to me that at that particular time, since the red car no longer does not move, and it was around the same time that the murder occurred, that vehicle might have been privy to some information.
So who's in the third car? Hold on, we gotta look. We gotta look at this.
Yes, there was.
And was there still oncoming traffic?
Well, the Audi did. Yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming
Nah,
traffic?
I don't know. I don't think this person saw anything. I'm gonna be honest, y'all, because they didn't come to an abrupt stop, and they had their turn signal on, so they must have just been going the wrong way, and they wanted to make a U-turn. Because look, you can even see this fourth car.
Takes off through traffic,
They've got their turn signal on, like they're gonna
through
make
the
a
red light.
U-turn.
as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi
So
go
look.
through the red light.
Well, the Audi did. Yes,
Turn
ma'am.
signal.
And was there still oncoming
And then they
traffic
make a
coming
U-turn.
as they were going through that light?
Yes, there was.
So I don't think this has anything to do with it.
And then that car did a U-turn, which is a little odd.
Why do you say it was odd?
I don't know if that what they witnessed or if they heard anything, but
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't mean anything.
suspicious to me that at that particular time, since the red car no longer does not move, and it was around the same time that the murder occurred, that vehicle might have been privy to some information. It's my assumption.
Were you able to locate or find it?
No,
Say again?
that's a terrible assumption that the car. I disagree.
Were you able to determine what vehicle that was that made
No,
it?
no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Now, when you approached the vehicle, the red vehicle, when you got on scene, were there any defects to the back of the vehicle?
And all were on the.
He doesn't talk about the third car at all. I know some of y'all have seen this already. But it seems like that third car sits there longer than the other two did. I mean, can we see anything? Can we see the shots
car
being
that just
fired?
pulled up to the light now is stopped. That's the red vehicle.
That this car right here?
Yes. The Audi, the first car to follow the red car out is the Audi, the white Audi. It's right next to it.
That right here?
Yes. And then the Ford Fusion is right to the right of that.
That right here?
That's correct.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped right now?
Yes, there's traffic now trying to go onto I-20 eastbound.
And so the car where Mr. Drinks and the two white cars are red light?
That's correct. It's a red light now. And the Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi and Fusion go through the red light?
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming as they were going through that light?
Yes, there was.
This is what Max was talking about yesterday. This is brilliant. Again, I haven't seen the cross-examination yet, y'all. But if you watch the car, the brakes get hit twice. And when he questioned the medical examiner yesterday, Max Shart said, so when this person got shot in the back of the head and that bullet hit the base of their skull, would they have been unconscious immediately? And the medical examiner said, yes. He said, and I know things happen, like their body twitches, after they've been deceased. Would there have been any movement? And that's why he asked this question, because look at this. The brakes get hit twice.
The first car to
So
follow
you see the
red
brake
car out
lights
is the
here.
Audi, the white Audi. It's right next to it.
That right here?
Yes. And then the Ford Fusion is right to the right of that.
That right here?
That's correct.
Brake lights, brake lights, brake lights.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped right now?
Yes, there's traffic now trying to go onto I-20 eastbound.
Brake
And
lights.
so the car where Mr. Drinks and the two white cars are red light?
That's correct. It's a red light now. And the Audi takes
Car
off
starts
through
rolling
traffic,
forward.
through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi and Fusion go through the red light?
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming?
Oh. Y'all see that? You can see the brake lights. Look at that.
Eastbound.
And so the car where Mr. Drinks and the two white cars are red light?
That's
They
correct.
pull
It's a red
off.
light now.
They
And
both pull
the
off. Car starts
Audi
rolling forward.
Takes off through traffic, through the red light,
And
as
he
well
stops
as
a little bit.
the white car, the Fusion.
This car
So the
pulls
Audi
up.
and Fusion go through the red light?
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming?
The car moves forward and then hits the brakes again. Y'all see that right here? Look at it.
Takes off through traffic,
The car moves forward.
through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi and Fusion go through the red light?
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still
Lets
oncoming-
off the brakes and then hits the brakes again. If they had shot him with that fatal shot, he would have been unconscious and he wouldn't have been able to hit the brakes and let off the brakes again. I don't care about this pedestrian. I'm looking at this because this is where it all went down. And that all happened when this third car pulled up.
red light?
Well, the Fusion.
So the Audi and Fusion go
He was still alive here. He had to have been, because the medical examiner said when he was shot here and he was unconscious.
Use red light.
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
This is crazy.
Or was the oncoming traffic coming as they were going through that light?
Yes,
Car
there was.
moves forward.
And then that car did a U-turn, which is a little odd.
Car moves forward. So that car moves forward a little
I
bit,
would say it was odd.
and then he lets off the brakes,
I don't know what they witnessed
and then hits the brakes again.
or if they heard anything, but it's suspicious to me that at that particular time,
Yo, this is crazy. And y'all are telling me he didn't talk at all about the third car? Look at this.
since the red car no longer does not move, and it was at around the same time that the murder occurred, that vehicle might have been privy to some information. It's my assumption.
Were you able to locate or find it?
Say again?
Were you able to determine what vehicle that was that made
No,
it?
no, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Now, when you approached the vehicle, the red vehicle, when you got on scene, were there any defects to the back of the vehicle?
They were all, most were on the, or all were on the driver's side.
But driver's side, passenger side?
I'm sorry, the passenger
This is
side of the vehicle,
crazy.
yes. I don't recall any in the rear.
And this now the car still stationary?
Yes, it stays, it does not move anymore. It stays there till we get there.
Wow. Y'all, I don't know what Max is going to say during cross, but Max called it. And I guess he's seen this video before, but when you watch what happens, there's no way that the two cars before that killed this guy, because he lets his foot off the brake. The car starts to move forward, and then he puts his foot on the brake again. And then when this third car pulls up, his foot's on the brake. And the medical examiner said the fatal shot was here. And that shot would have made him unconscious. He would have slumped forward and his leg wouldn't have been twitching, pressing on the brake. This is crazy.
I'm going to fast forward to 127. And as I fast forward, is the car still sitting there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he was gone. Yeah, that's what I was trying to see. Amy said, what about the gunfire flash? That's what I was trying to see, but
And at 127,
I didn't see it.
The car still sitting there.
Yes.
So let's go back then. Let's go back to the third car and see if we can see this.
I'm going to fast.
It's going to be hard to see.
No, ma'am. At the
This
same
is
time,
this is so important, y'all.
that car
Traffic light
as
The
well
car,
as
the
all three.
car.
or red light.
This is crazy. The car moves. The car moves after they've left. How could you think how could you think these two guys or somebody in these two cars was the shooter if the car moves? We're gonna try. We're gonna see if we can see something. I know it's hard, but this is crazy.
Right.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped right now?
Yes, there's traffic now trying to go onto I-20 eastbound.
And so the car where Mr. Drinks and the two white cars are red light.
To me, the reason they pulled off as soon as they saw this car pulling up is because they were at a red light. You're not even supposed to stop, period. So they saw this other car pulling up. They're like, oh, hell no. We're out of here. I don't see
That's correct.
anything that looks like shots fired or any of that.
Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well.
The car moves forward slightly because you can see it. At first it's here and then it moves forward here.
That's correct. It's red light now.
And they were all probably thinking the same thing. This Mr. Drinks couldn't go anywhere because he was in this far left lane. So where's he going to go? The middle car is like gone. The other car goes this way and he was about to get out of there too. This other car pulls up. What happens?
Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well as the.
And the weird, this car stops behind Shamel Drinks' car.
The white car.
Which is odd.
So the Audi Fusion go through the red light?
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming as they were going through that light?
Yes, there was. And then that car.
Y'all, this is wild. This is absolutely insane.
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic?
All right, he lets off the brake and presses the brakes again here. He was alive. He was alive here. You can't, according to the medical examiner, that shot would have made him incapacitated, unconscious, and he wouldn't have been able to. He wouldn't have been able to press on the brakes and let his foot off the brakes.
That car, the Fusion.
So
y'all see any shots here though?
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming as they were going through that light?
Yes, there was. And then that car did a U-turn, which is a little odd.
Why do you say it was odd?
I don't know if that what they witnessed or if they heard anything, but it's suspicious to me that at that particular time, since the red car no longer does not move, and it was around the same time that the murder occurred, that vehicle might have been privy to some information. It's my assumption.
Were you able to locate or find it?
The world's end. If a car, let me tell you something. I don't know where you're from, but he says the Audi had a clear shot. So why run a red at that point? The third car has definitely had the optimum hit. Yeah, you can't. If the car pulls up behind you at a red light at, what was it? 10, 11 o'clock at night, you just go. You got to go.
Say again?
Were you able to determine what vehicle that was that made it?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Now, when you approached the vehicle, the red vehicle, when you got on scene, were there any
This is
defects to the
crazy.
back of the vehicle?
They were all were on the driver's side.
But driver's side, passenger side?
I'm sorry, the passenger side of the vehicle, yes. I don't recall any in the rear.
And is now the car still stationary?
Yes, it stays, it does not move anymore. It stays there till we get there.
He said most, but there wasn't any damage to the rear of the car.
What vehicle that was that made it?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Now, when you approached the vehicle, the red vehicle, when you got on scene, were there any defects to the back of the vehicle?
They were all were on the driver's side.
But driver's side, passenger side?
I'm sorry, the passenger side of the vehicle, yes. I don't recall any in the rear.
And is now the car still stationary?
Yes, it does not move anymore. It stays there till we get there.
Interesting.
I'm going to fast forward to 127.
I can't tell, Rodney.
And as I fast forward, is the car still sitting there?
Yes, ma'am.
Like, you don't stop at a red light, especially if another car pulls up behind you. Man, you should have been gone. This is insane.
Start at 127.02. And at 127.02, is the car still sitting there?
Yes.
And y'all are saying the person walking because it could have been a witness. We could have asked them when they heard the shots, possibly. Dragon Woods, there is no court today. We'll be back in court tomorrow. There's just no way.
And do you see your car pull up on the opposite side of the street to the red car?
Yes.
This must be Mr. Cheeseburger.
And based on what you know, was that Mr. Cheeseburger's car?
That was, yes.
And was that approximately 1 hour, 27 minutes into this video?
Yes.
And the car
I can't
was
zoom in.
getting at 1 hour and 1 minute into this video.
That's correct.
Howdy Girl said, zoom in, you can see. I don't think I can zoom in on this. Yeah, YouTube. I can't zoom in. I would have to put this into something else. This is crazy. They got the wrong guy. They got the wrong guy. How can I zoom in? Y'all are saying I can zoom in? Stable volume, sleep quality. Zoom in on my phone. All right. Yeah, I can't do it on desktop though.
You may.
Have you had an opportunity to look at a kind of
This
a
is
compilation video
crazy.
of all of those 3 videos kind of spliced together?
Yes.
And did that appear to be a fair and accurate? Is this what's contained in 250 VV?
Yes.
Yeah, I won't
Does
let you
that
zoom in
appear
on
to be
YouTube.
A fair and accurate depiction of those surveillance images that we just watched.
They were, yes. They are.
You're right. This time to say with like a trigger in a mid 230 VV.
All right, those are, that is admitted, 230 VV.
I'm trying to look at it on my phone, y'all.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Publisher.
You may.
So the Audi comes in, backs into the parking space.
The third car is the shooter. Oh my gosh. If y'all are on your phones and you want to look at this, if you look right when the car starts to roll forward, right before the car starts to roll forward, you can see flash, flash, flash. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. You can see the gunshots. They got the wrong guy. I'm going to figure out and see if I can zoom in. Y'all, it still would be hard to see it on desktop. Y'all, you can see it. You can see it as clear as day. And Miss Hilton, she's controlling the video. You can see her trying to move her mouse over it. Where is I'm sure Max already saw this. Press and hold Control key on your keyboard and then press the plus key. No, Amy, I'm doing that. YouTube, it doesn't work that way. And you can see, even if you're watching it with it zoomed in, you can see Miss Hilton trying to move her mouse over the top of it. Oh my gosh. You can see the shots being fired from the third car. Y'all give me a second.
And look at the bottom of the video. Is there a timestamp on the video? Can you see the timestamp?
Yes, it says 21:51, which is, it's 9:50, 9:51 p.m.
And is it on March 14, 2022?
Yes. The Fusion arrives at the gas pump, and the driver gets out, walks inside. He's followed inside a short time later by the driver's side rear passenger.
And what time is it now? This is time.
It says 21, when the camera changed it, let's change it to 21:50 on the March 14th, 2022. See the car backing into the space outside the window. See the tail lights on the car.
And again, that's it with the Audi, correct?
That's correct. That's the alley that backed into the front. Just prior to the Fusion arriving. At some point you can see it. It's hard to see, but you can see through the window that the driver's side door opens and the driver steps out and walks inside. You can follow him from this angle, follow him to the front door, and it's the young man wearing a pink hat and glasses.
Let me run this back real quick.
Audi, it's right next to it.
That right here?
Yes. Okay. And then the Ford Fusion is right.
I gotta
to
move
the right
after
of
this.
That right here.
That's correct.
Now, is there traffic going in the opposite direction where the cars are stopped right now?
Yes, there's traffic now trying to go onto I-20 eastbound.
And so the car where Mr. Drinks and the two white cars are a red light.
That's correct. It's a red light now. And the Audi takes off through traffic, through the red light, as well as the white car, the Fusion.
So the Audi and Fusion go through the red light.
Well, the Audi did, yes, ma'am.
And was there still oncoming traffic coming as they were going through that light?
Yes, there was. And then that car did a U-turn, which is a little odd.
Why do you say it was odd?
I don't know if what they witnessed or if they heard anything, but it's suspicious to me that at that particular time, since the red car no longer does not move, and it was around the same time that the murder occurred, that vehicle might have been privy to some information. It's my assumption.
Were you able to locate or find it?
Say again?
Were you able to determine what vehicle that was that made it?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Now, when you approached the vehicle, the red vehicle, when you got on scene, were there any defects to the back of the vehicle?
And all were on the driver's side.
But driver's side, passenger side?
I'm sorry, the passenger side of the vehicle, yes. I don't recall any in the rear.
And is now the car still stationary?
Yes, it does not move anymore. It stays there till we get there.
I'm going to fast forward to 127. And as I fast forward, is the car still sitting there?
Yes, ma'am.
Start at 127.02. And at 127.02, is the car still sitting there?
Yes.
Guys, this is huge. No, Debbie, I'm not okay. Thank y'all for the super chats.
And do you see your car pull up on the opposite side of the street to the red car?
Yes.
And based on what you know, was that Mr. Cheeseborough's car?
It was, yes.
And was that at approximately 127, 1 hour and 27 minutes into this video?
Yes.
And the car was stationary beginning at 1 hour and 1 minute into this video?
That's correct.
I'm trying to figure out how to zoom in, y'all. I'm
Commissioner
good.
Pocher,
You may.
have you had an opportunity to look at a kind of a compilation video of all of those three videos kind of spliced together?
Yes.
And did that appear to be a fair and accurate? Is this what's contained 250 VP?
Yes.
And does that appear to be a fair and accurate depiction of those surveillance images that we heard about?
They were, yes. They are.
You're right, this time to say like a trigger in the mid 230 VP.
All right, those are, that is admitted, 230 VV.
Yeah, it's not letting me zoom in, y'all. This is crazy, guys. This is insane.
I'm sorry, Commissioner Publisher.
You may.
So the Audi comes in, backs into the parking space.
And look at the bottom of the video. Is there a timestamp on the video? Can you see the timestamp?
Yes, it says 2151, which is, it's 9:50, 9:51 p.m.
And is it on March 14, 2022?
Yes. Fusion arrives at the gas pump, and the driver gets out, walks inside. He's followed inside a short time later by the driver's side rear passenger.
And what time is it now, based on the time?
It says 21, when the camera changed it, let's change it to 21:50 on the March 14th, 2022.
So we're going back to this video? Why?
See the car backing into the space outside the window. See the tail lights on the car.
And again, that's with the Audi, correct?
That's correct. That's the Audi that backed into the front just prior to the Fusion arriving. At some point, you can see it. It's hard to see, but you can see through the window that the driver's side door opens, and the driver steps out and walks inside. You can follow him from this angle, follow him to the front door, and it's the young man wearing a pink hat and glasses.
No, Sean, it's not that. It's that I'm in Fulton County, Sean.
51.
That's what I'm worried
shortly
about.
Thereafter, the driver of the Ford Fusion comes in.
And did you mean 2151 or 951?
That's correct. That's what I said. I probably said that.
And at the time, did you know the names of any of these individuals who are in these videos at all?
I had no idea. So 21:52, 11 seconds or thereabouts. Driver of the Fusion in the beige jacket, the hoodie, green hoodie coming in. He comes in and he buys something for the driver of the Audi in the pink hat. And the passenger from the Ford Fusion comes in, and the driver of the Audi interacts with him, indicating to me that they knew each other. And then
Yeah, right here.
the passenger exits with the other two drivers. Okay, now we're back at 21:53. 9:53. The driver of the Fusion and the passenger walk back to the Fusion. I'll get back in the car and sit there for a few minutes.
Yeah, it is amazing that Mr. Cheeseborough was there so quickly.
And what time is it now?
21:54, 20 seconds. It's 9:54, it's almost 10 o'clock. On the same day. The driver of the Fusion is out and walks back in the store.
And so that same 954 time.
That's correct, 9:54. Makes a purchase.
And is this the red car with Mr. Drinks arriving?
That's correct. So Mr. Drinks arrives as the driver of the Ford Fusion is walking back to his car.
And what time is it now?
It's at 21:56. I believe, yep, 21:56 on the same day. 4 minutes before 10 o'clock at night.
Why are we going backwards? I'm confused.
And has the driver of the Ford Fusion already gotten back into the car?
Yes, ma'am. He's returned to his driver's seat, and they sit there, both the Fusion and the Audi sit there until Mr. Drinks leaves.
I don't understand why we're going back to this video. Is it just me?
So Mr. Drink goes in to the store, makes a purchase,
And what time is it now?
21:57 on the same day.
We just watched this.
And this junction has the Ford Fusion been saying idle for approximately since about 21:56 p.m.
Sure, yes.
And the Audi, have you seen any more activity since 21:54, 21:55?
No, ma'am.
All right, this is Drinks right here. Rest in peace. I love my life. I love my life. I love my life. Yeah, even when I try and zoom in, it doesn't work.
Mr. Drinks leaves.
And what time is it now?
21:59. We're at 21:58 now on the camera 19. $21.59. There's Mr. Drinks exiting the store.
And it has the Ford Fusion now been sitting idle for about 3 minutes.
Yes.
And from your observation, have multiple cars come and gone in the period of time when both the Audi and the Ford Fusion are sitting idle?
Yes.
And what time is it now?
So it's 10 o'clock. 2200.
And is it 22:01 or 10:01 p.m.?
It's 22:01 right now on the video.
There goes Mr. Drinks.
And there was a red car pulled off at approximately 10:01 p.m. in the video.
Yes.
And is it only then that the white Audi pulled off?
That's correct.
And has the white Audi been sitting idle for about at least 5 minutes prior to him pulling off?
Yes. And then the Fusion as well.
And has that been sitting idle for about 5 minutes prior to him pulling off?
Yes. This camera is capturing images. The metadata on that says it's not a military time. There's a red car go by at 10:01, followed by the white car at 10:01 in some seconds, and then the third car, the white car, at 10:01.
And then does it pick up with the FedEx images that we saw a few moments ago?
That's correct. Yes.
Now, did you?
Yeah, they don't want to show
as you
those
were
again.
watching the video, take still images of some of the certain portions of each of those videos?
I did.
I'm going to show you Stacey's exhibit 204 VV through 215 VV. And have you had the opportunity to look at these previously? And then 245 VV through 247 VV.
Yes, I have.
And were those very accurate pictures, the screenshot that you took from the surveillance videos that we just seen?
Yes.
Your Honor, this time the state would like to admit 245 VV through 247 VV, and then 204 VV through 215 VV.
All right, those are admitted.
Now, Investigator Hogan, how many homicides have you handled where there has been a vehicle associated with the potential perpetrators of the homicide?
I hadn't kept count, but a great number of homicides or vehicles are utilized.
For those cases that you have, about how many of those cases does this target vehicle have tinted windows?
Judge, Your Honor, relevance.
Can you establish the relevance of that?
Yes. Let me back up. The Audi vehicle that you were observing, did it have tinted windows?
It appeared to, yes.
What about the third car?
And in the cases that you've dealt with that have target cars or vehicles related to a homicide, is it uncommon for those target vehicles to have tinted windows?
Relevance.
Seems sustained at this point.
What do you mean seems sustained? Judge Whitaker, that's all you. Did you sustain it or not?
Now, after looking at the surveillance video, did you receive any assistance from a Detective Bender?
I did.
And how did Detective Bender assist you?
Well, we work together quite often in our investigations. Detective Bender is, she sits real near me in the office, or sat real near me in the office, and she asked if she could help, and I asked her to help me identify. I knew that she was very good with our camera system, our LPR system, that captures tags. So I asked her to help me identify the cars, see if she could find the cars on the system and identify their tag numbers for me, which she was able to do pretty quickly.
And were there any particular LPR reads that were significant to your investigation?
Yes.
Okay. And
It's a
what were the
sloppy
reads that were significant
investigation.
to your investigation?
To say the least. Amazing.
So Detective Bender was able to find a white Audi that hit on a license plate reader at Windsor at Richardson Street, which is right around the corner, at 9:49 p.m. on the night of the murder, as well as a white Ford Fusion that was closely following behind it. That was at 9:50. So one was at 9:49, one was at 9:50. They were both headed in the direction of the BP station.
And is that the same area where that Vic camera was located in the picture that we looked at earlier today?
Yes, yes, ma'am, it is.
Now, after learning of the LPR reads, did you get any other investigative assistance?
I did.
What other assistance did you receive?
I was at my desk, I was going through the video, and I had some really good video of who I consider persons of interest or suspects in the murder, but I didn't have any idea who they were. So I was going through the video and taking screenshots out of facial shots as close or detailed as I can get. My intentions were to post those in a citywide email throughout to the police department to see if anybody would recognize who they were, and I could put a face with a name or a name with a face. As I'm doing that, Detective Bender is searching LPRs. All this kind of came together at the same time. And then a detective, Marissa Viverito, and Sergeant Belknap from the gang unit visited the office.
Oh, not
came to my
Viverito.
desk. Detective Viverito happened to see, or I asked her, do you recognize this guy? And she said she did, and since she recognized two of the individuals that I had identified as suspects in the murder.
Okay.
Between her and Sergeant Belknap.
And do you recall what day of your investigation this interaction occurred with Investigator Viverito?
It happened on the 14th. It was either the 15th or the 16th. I don't remember exactly what day it was. Took the warrants out, I think, on the 16th. So I don't remember when I got the video, but it was the 15th or the 16th, one of those days.
All right. And was Investigator Viverito able to show you any pictures regarding any of the individuals that were contained in the video?
Yes, she had been called out, and the gang unit had been called out to an incident where there were several gang members inside of a house that they, being from the gang unit, went and responded to the house. And while they were there, they took pictures of cars and of the people that were there and detained. And she showed me images of the people that were there, including the two people she'd identified, and they were still wearing the same clothes. The one image that I spotted was a young man in the back seat who was wearing the leopard print shower cap. He had it in his pocket at that residence on the call that Detective Viverito was on.
Okay. And at the time, do you recall, was Detective Viverito working in Atlanta Police Department, or was she working somewhere else at the time?
She's kind of jumped around. I think she was either with the DA's office and assigned there, or she was with the gang unit, but she was in between, or one of the two.
Okay. I'm going to show you what's already been admitted as 166 VV.
Okay.
And does 166 VV, is that the image that she showed you when you saw her at APD headquarters?
This is the image that Detective Viverito took on the call she was on after my murder. Again, the pink hat, the hoodie, the same hoodie, and just recognize the face.
Okay. And I'm going to show you 167 VV. Was this another one of the pictures that she showed you while you were at APD?
Yes.
Okay. And were you able to get a name for the individual in 167 VV?
Yes.
And what was that person's name?
Miles Farley.
And then were you able to get a name for the picture, for the person who was in 166 VV?
Yes.
And what was that person's name?
Shannon Bernard Jackson.
And were you ever able to get a name for the third individual who was in the beige jacket and the green hoodie?
Yes.
And what was that name?
Quamarvius Nichols.
Now, were you also shown pictures of any vehicles by Investigator Viverito?
Yes.
And what picture did she show you?
I remember seeing a picture of the Audi.
Y'all stay out of this system.
Now, after looking at the surveillance video, looking at the LPR readers, and speaking with Investigator Viverito, did you request any other assistance as related to your investigation?
Detective Grimsley helped me with, once we determined the tag numbers of the Audi and the Ford Fusion, we discovered that the Audi was a rental car. Detective Grimsley, who was in auto crimes and has connections in regards to that, I asked him to help, and he made it was rented from Alamo. He contacted Alamo, or put me in touch with a person from Alamo to give me the rental information for the Audi.
And were they able to provide you that rental information?
He did, yes.
I'm going to show you what's been admitted as 186 VV.
I don't even want to listen to what this guy has to say anymore, to be honest.
Tell me if you recognize 186 VVA.
Yes.
Yeah, the car made a U-turn. It seemed odd.
This is the information, or is a copy of the
Crazy.
information I received from the rental car company.
And who was the renter of the vehicle?
It's indicated here it was Shannon Bernard Jackson.
Okay. It was that the same person that you had identified from the two surveillance videos?
That's correct, yes.
Excuse me, from the surveillance video from the picture.
That's correct, yes.
Did you ultimately take out warrants in this case?
I did.
And who did you take out arrest warrants for?
For Cormavius Nichols, Shannon Jackson, and Miles Farley.
And for what charges?
For murder.
Now, is there any significance to you as a homicide detective or investigator in the fact that a suspect vehicle is a rental vehicle?
Yes, I've found in my experience that,
Overruled.
it's been my experience that rental vehicles are quite often used when there's a crime going to be committed, or they're planning on doing a crime.
And what about, is there any significance of tents on vehicles as a homicide investigator?
My experience that people at tent windows are trying to hide who's in the car, or prevent people from seeing inside the car to see who's in it.